Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janelle Veronica and I'm all about the makeup on this channel. If you absolutely love your makeup, make sure that you subscribe and join the family here in Makeup Land. For today's video, I have some Fenty, some Nars, some MAC, some Black Opal. For my eyeshadow today, I'm going to be going in with the Nicka Makeup Rose Latte eyeshadow palette. This is what the palette looks like, a nice cute compact eyeshadow palette, just 10 shades in the palette to work with, but it looks so pretty. Hopefully it performs good. This is my first time, no actually it isn't. I've actually used Nicka makeup eyeshadows before, and from what I remember they perform good. So this is the bad boy that we're going to be using to create the eye look today. So with that said, let me get to priming and let me get some makeup on my face. For my primer, I am going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. Just going to massage that into the face. I absolutely love this primer. This primer blurs the skin. It's a little tacky, and that is what holds on to the makeup. I absolutely love this primer. Foundation goes on top of it so nicely. It keeps the makeup in place throughout the day. It is absolutely one of my favorite makeup primers. For my foundation today, I am going in with a Nars foundation. This is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation in the shade Marquises. I'm just going to go in and dot that all over the face. To blend my foundation now, I'm going in with a Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just going to pounce that foundation in, you know, making sure that we diffuse it nicely, that we have nice even coverage all over the face. Alright guys, so we are all blended out, and this Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation is so good. Full coverage. It dries down matte on the skin, but it's not a flat or a cakey looking matte, and I absolutely love this about that foundation. I'm going to do some concealing and some highlighting of my face now. For my concealer, I am going in with the MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. This one is in the shade NC 45. I'm going to highlight my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to conceal my mustache because your girl has a mustache. And then a little bit on my chin. As usual, I'm going to let my concealer dry down while I contour my face. When you let your concealer dry down for a little bit, you get fuller coverage, and I'm a full coverage kind of babe. I absolutely love full coverage makeup. I'm going to go in with the Black Opal Stick Foundation in the shade Ebony Brown to contour. On my cheekbones, around my forehead. Those are the areas that I like to contour on the face and bring shadow to. I'm going to go in with a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush and blend that contour out, working the cheekbones upwards. You know, we want the cheekbones to look nice and sculpted, nice and lifted. That's just the way how I blend my contour out at my cheeks. I don't come beneath this area on my cheeks. I like to blend it upwards. When I get to my hairline, I work it backwards. When I get to my forehead, I work it backwards into my hairline. Alright guys, so contour, blend it out. I'm going to switch to a callus sponge and blend my concealer out, starting at my chin. Then onto the forehead in patting motions. Down the bridge of my nose. Alright guys, so concealer blended out. Face is looking nice and juicy, nice and full coverage. To set my foundation, set my concealer down today, I am going in with a Revlon powder. This is the Revlon Photoready Candid powder in shade number 3. I'm just going to dip my sponge into the powder, dab the excess off on the back of my hand. Then go in and work that powder in to really set that concealer down. And I'm basically just setting down all of the areas that I would have gone in with that MAC concealer with the Revlon powder. So down the bridge of my nose as well, because I highlighted that area with the concealer. Nice. To set the rest of my face, I am going in with a Maybelline powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Press Powder in the shade 365 Nutmeg. Face is nice and set, and it's time for bronzer. Me and bronzer, we always need to have a moment. I think bronzer just brings dimension back to the face, make you look nice and sun-kissed, like you've been on holiday, like you've been in the Maldives, like you've been in Barbados. Absolutely love bronzer. One of my favorite ones is the Juvia's Place bronzer. This is the dark kit that I'm going in with, and I am going in with the Ashley Lee P04 brush. I'm also going to go in with that bronzer and just sculpt my nose out a little bit. You know, making sure to blend it in nicely so that the nose sculpting does not look too harsh. Alright guys, so I did my brows quickly off camera just to save a little bit of time. It's time for the eyeshadow. As I said, I have the Nicka K Makeup Rose Latte eyeshadow palette. So I'm just going to jump right in and create an eye look. I'm going to start by dipping into this brown, it's like a light brown shade in the palette. This shade right here. And I'm going in with a Morphe M434 brush. I'm just going to use that a little bit in my crease and as a transition shade. To prime my eyes for the eyeshadow today, I went in with the Juvia's Place Eye Primer in shade number 2. Alright, this color is very subtle. It's a nice light brown transition shade. Alright, so now that that's blended out, and I hope you can see it, it's very subtle, but it's a nice pretty color. I'm going to just deepen up my crease and the outer V of the eye. I'm going to go into this, it's like a brownie plum colored shade in the palette. There are no names on the palette, and I'm going in with another Morphe M434 brush. I'm just going to go back in with the transition shade and just reblend those edges. For my lid, there's this nice champagne gold shimmer shade in the palette. I'm going to use that all over the lid, and this is an e.l.f. flat shader brush that I'm going in with. This shade is very pretty. It's a nice metallic shade. I'm going to go back in with the dark brown, back into the crease again, you know, just to reblend that area and also to blend the outer V of the eye into the shimmer shade nicely. I'm also going to go back in with that dark brown plummy shade and run that on my lower lash line as well. I'm going to go back in with the lid shade that champagne gold shade and really work that on the inner corner of the eye just for a little pop. Alright guys, so I popped a pair of lashes on. My lashes today are the Eyelure London Definition Full and Bold Eyelash. Such a cute lash. It's time for some blush. I'm going to go orangey coral on the blush just to match the tones of the eyeshadow since we have browns going on with the eyeshadow. This is the Palladio matte blush in the shade Tipsy. It's a nice orangey coral blush. And I'm going in with my Real Techniques 400 blush brush. I just find that a nice coral blush looks good on like darker complexions, especially when you're going in with something more neutral on the eyes. I'm going to highlight down the bridge of my nose, and to do that today, if I can get it opened, I am going in with the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. This one is in the shade Molten Gold. On the tip. Then I like to go back in with my sponge and just make sure that that sinks in and is seamless on the nose. I'm going to do the final step for under my eyes. I'm going in with the Morphe M554 tapered paddle brush. I'm going to dip into some of that Revlon powder that I used to set my concealer down. Shake the excess off. Then just going and perfect my under eyes. Blend it nicely, you know, into the blush. Always shake the excess off. For my setting spray today, I am going in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is the mattifying one. I love it. It smells so good. It is so fruity. It is good at mattifying the complexion. I like a matte complexion. I find that's what I prefer. I don't like anything that's too dewy since I have oily skin and I want my makeup to last throughout the day. I just love the scent of that. I'm going to move on to lips now. I'm going to start by lining my lips with a Nicka K lip pencil. This one is a brown pencil and it's in the shade Cocoa. That is such a pretty brown lip liner, perfect shade. For my lipstick, I'm going to go brown on the lips today so that we have that nice sultry look going on the lip. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick. It's a matte lipstick and it's in the shade 013 Hot Chocolate. It's a nice rich brown shade. And I'm just going to top it off with a clear gloss. Just any clear gloss would do. Any clear gloss that you have. Just going to put a little bit more blush on. Alright guys, and that is my makeup all complete. Today was the first time that I used the Revlon Photoready Candid powder, the setting powder. This one, such a nice powder. I think the combination of the MAC and this powder has my under eyes looking very nice. It's not the brightest shade, and sometimes I honestly don't want to go too bright with my highlight on my face. Sometimes I prefer a more subtle highlight, and number 3 was perfect for achieving that. If you have not used the Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer, you need to buy it. This one blurs the skin. It's tacky on the skin as well, and that holds onto the makeup, and I absolutely love it. Love it. So I hope you guys like the makeup look. If you do, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and join the family here in Makeup Land. I post videos twice a week, on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for yet another video. I want you to be fabulous, to have a fantastic week wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.